That Bay Area. What's up, Richmond, CA? There's some real stuff right here.
I can't think about coming down here.
It's Aji, man.
Add on.
Once upon a time.
Add on.
I knew how to rhyme.
Keep you at home. Me on. Or me want to own. Me on type of flow.
That's all I got to say.
Me on.
All right.
Or me want to own. Me on type of flow.
Welcome back to another episode of the Add On Podcast. Right back at you with another episode. So I just wrapped up watching the biggest fight of the year in boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis versus King Ryan Garcia. One of the biggest fights you ever see. It was exciting. It definitely lived up to the hype. Obviously, I'm sad, as you probably can tell a little bit. Like, I don't even want to do this podcast right now because I'm so mad. But at the same time, like, I got to talk about it, man, for sure. And I love Tank, too. So it's like, I'm not like, it's like, I'm happy for him as well. It's just I was going for Garcia. They both put up great fights. I think just Tank is way too skilled. I think I showed my mom Tank before the fight. I showed my dad Tank. And my dad was like, hey, man, from what I've seen, Tank got more skills. It's just his footwork, his head movement, the way he picks his spots, the placement. At Garcia, he got speed in that left hook, but it just wasn't enough. He was shooting that left hook all day, throwing a jab. It just didn't quite work out. I think he's just not as disciplined. Man, that sucks, dang. But it is what it is, man, for sure. So obviously I got to shout out my mom because she picked it up. She predicted it. She said Tank was gonna win, and Tank won. Also, one of my friends, Hugo, he was on my head today. And leading up to the fight, he was like, Tank gonna win. I'm like, nah, Garcia gonna get him. He gonna shock the world. I kept saying it. I just felt it. I just really felt it that it was gonna happen, but it wasn't. It didn't happen. So shout out my mom. Shout out Hugo. Hey, it is what it is. Tank is that dude. He's the best in the division. I'll give it to him. Tank is just on another level, man. Tank is just like, from the footwork to the hand speed to the accuracy, he got it all. Like Haney and Shakur, those definitely would be tougher fights for Tank than Garcia, but I think I don't know if he takes them out. I don't know if he like knocks them out, both of them dudes out, but I think he got to be the favorite, and he'll probably more than likely win those fights. I think you got to put the money on Tank at this point in time. I think Tank is just, he's proven he's the face of boxing. Like, I know Canelo is that dude, but I mean, like, Gervonta, too, under 30, 28 years old, 29 knockouts, or 29 victories, I should say, 27 knockouts. Gervonta Tank Davis is that dude, but I think what went wrong for Garcia, I think, was just, I didn't want to admit it at first, but I think that rehydration clause had a little bit to do with something. And I'm not making an excuse. As a Garcia fan, I don't think that even if the fight was at 140, Tank may have still won just because of just discipline. Because at the end of the day, Danny Garcia said the same thing. You got to have skills. Like, it's going to come down to skills. Yeah, you can come in big and, strong, whatever the case may be. That may help to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, you got to have skills. And just skill set for skill set, Gervonta is just above Garcia. And Tank said the same thing. He just felt like he was on a tier above Garcia as far as level. It is levels to this. It's levels to everything in life. It's levels to boxing. So I think for Garcia, I mean, obviously, tough loss, but I mean, he lost to Tank. Shoot. Look at it on the bright side. At least you didn't get knocked out like Luis Santa Cruz or something like not to, I'll tell you what, a lot of people think that he quit on that body shot, but you don't understand how much some body shots hurt, especially if you get hit in the right spot on the liver. Them things, man, it's like, I can only imagine, especially coming from Tank, hitting you right there. That's when I was watching it too. I was watching, me and my sister was going for Garcia. I'm like, bro. Like, I thought he was going to get up. For one, I was shocked that he went down because I didn't see it at first. I'm like, he just randomly went down. And then when it got to like a 5-6 count, I'm like, yeah, it's over. It's over. And I kind of knew it was over from just the get-go. Like, just seeing Garcia, like, at the weigh-in yesterday, he looked a little drained. Tank looked drained too, but I thought he was going to bulk up a lot more. Tank looked like he put on, man. This morning for the weigh-in, he was like 144 point something. For the fight, he had to have been at least 155, 160. Garcia probably was no more than like 150, 148 or so. Garcia did say after the fight that he don't want to make no excuses, but he did feel a little bit weak, like his legs were underneath him. But obviously he said once he started fighting, that went away. But I think it didn't really go away. It was just the adrenaline of the fight. But it was still, in reality, that he still wasn't at his strongest, wasn't at his best. Say what you want about Tank Davis. Say what you want about him, about he rehydrated. Garcia, he sent spies in the camp and Leonard Ellaby, and they all spying on him and stuff like that. They doing everything they can to beat the dude. So if you want to say, I mean, that's not necessarily cheating. That's just called strategy. And I think that, me as a Garcia fan, I'll admit that. Like, Gervonta's with Floyd. So, I mean, Floyd going to tell him all the tricks, everything like that. People talk about Floyd. He handpicked his fights, and he's this, he's that. At the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather is the greatest, defensive boxer of all time. He's never lost. He's made the most money of any boxer in history. So I think that's his strategy right there. That strategy right there. I definitely think the right move for Garcia is going down to 140, going up to 140, I should say. It's not too many dudes there. I don't think that's at the level of Shakur or Haney. Although Haney might move up to 140 as well, and I think it's going to be a tough fight for Garcia as well for that fight. I think that he'll probably take that fight if they do fight, but more so the distance. I don't think that Haney knocks him out or anything like that. But who knows? I think Garcia, I mean, like I said, hold your head high, man. Like I said, like he said, do a couple more fights, rack up a couple more wins, and maybe down the line or two, a couple years from now, they can meet again. But I think right now it was just, I don't want to say it was early for Garcia. I just wish that he didn't take those stipulational rehydration clauses and stuff like that. I wish they would have fought at 140. I think Tank probably would have won still, but it would have been, I think it would have gone the distance, or maybe it would have been a more, like, honestly, I thought, as much as I wanted Garcia to win, it's like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a situation where both of them going to hit the canvas at one point, and then Tank is just going to find a way to win, but Garcia was the only one that hit the canvas. Obviously, you talk about that first knockdown in round 2. Garcia, he came out strong in round 1. I think most of the judges had him winning round 1. It was very, very close round 1. I think, but I think Garcia was a little bit more active with the jab and stuff like that, so they probably gave him that round. And then I think early on in round 2, it was Garcia. Garcia just started applying the pressure because it was just going, he probably didn't want it to turn in one of those fights where it was just like, like a 12-round fight. Like, Garcia, he liked knocking dudes out, but with a guy like Tank, he almost just baiting you. That's why Garcia said he gave Garcia said he gave Tank a little bit too much respect when he was like on the ropes and in the corner. But at the same time, I feel like if he would have came in, he probably would have got knocked out cold. Like, kind of like how Tank probably would have knocked him out even sooner had he attacked earlier, even more like he did kind of with Rolly. Because Rolly was winning those rounds early, but he came in and got caught with a good shot. Tank is just, man, he's, like I said, he's on another level, man. He's on another level. Just with the pockets, with the timing, the accuracy, the power. Like Shakur and Devin, they got great defense, but they don't got the footwork. They don't got the IQ. They don't got the power. They got speed, but it's just like Tank, he really don't got a weakness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tank comes out slow in rounds because he wants to. Tank could have easily came out there, and picked a war with Garcia off the jump. It could have been another Hagler Hearns first round. People were saying that, but who would that favor? Probably Gervonta, because he knew how to slip punches better than Garcia. And I think Garcia, I think, like, I even showed my dad, before we watched the fight, I showed my dad both fighters and my mom to see what they think of them, because they don't really, watch too much boxing nowadays, obviously, because, but now they probably start watching him because they see a dude like Gervonta coming up. But I showed him, and he was like, in my honest opinion, man, I think Tank was a little better than Garcia. I think just Tank is just, like he says more skill. It's like the footwork. Because Garcia, he was fighting kind of flat-footed that fight against Tank today. Not just today, that's just how he fights. He just don't have the movement, the head movement. He was going for that left hook a lot. He was swinging and miss. You got to think, though, like, Garcia, Tank watched pretty much all his Garcia's knockouts with the left hook. So he was dodging everyone. I think the one left hook that he did connect, that I don't know how many left hooks that Garcia landed. I know he landed a couple good overhand rights on Tank, but I know the one left hook that he landed was the body shot. He was like, at the same time, if he would have avoided that body shot and got a little bit more power in that left hook before that liver shot, it would have been interesting. But he actually connected that left hook, but it didn't have no power behind it. It didn't affect Tank at all. Tank got a chin, hit the temple as well. Dang, man, that's just. But yeah, I don't think that Garcia was at his strongest. I don't think. I don't think that him at 135. Just look if you look at Ryan Garcia when he came to the ring against Fortuna. For one, he fought Fortuna at 140 with no rehydration clauses. He just looked more full. He looked stronger. He looked kind of weak. Like just like when he came in there, I could see his rib cage and and I was worried when I saw that. I'm like, man, because especially when I saw Tank, like he was like, man, and like I said, I'm not sure if I said this already, but Tank said that in that IG live with Kai Cenat, he said that he asked Garcia, "Did you get stopped recently in the gym by a body shot?" And Garcia said no. Now looking back at it, the outcome of the fight, Garcia was probably lying because he lost the fight with a body shot. And like Tank, he got all the info. Like I said, he was spying in camp. He knew what he was working on. He was watching a ton of film. So you can call that cheating or whatever you want to do. It's not cheating. It's just strategy. So at the end of the day, that's just how Floyd team roll. Floyd and Leonard Ellaby and Tank and his trainer and stuff. That's just how they roll. So I think for Ryan Garcia, moving up to 140, I think that would be the better decision for him. I mean, obviously, if Tank and Shakur stay at 135, I mean, really. But it's some tough dudes at 140 as well. You got Rowley, you got, Haney, if he moves up. But obviously, I don't think Garcia should fight any of them dudes right now. He should probably, his next couple fights, he needs to start, feel more confident. So I would say get up, maybe against still competitive fights, of course, but not a top-tier guy at 140 right away. I mean, unless you just ready. But I definitely seen some things from Garcia. He definitely got to tighten up his defense. And walk and take down, just kind of running into shots. It's just, he kind of made the same mistake Rolly did. I mean, like I said, Tank is just on another level, man. So it's definitely sad, but hey, I think they made up after the fight. I mean, it really was never no beef. All the trash talk, all the cussing and stuff like that, it was just to build up the fight. Like, this was one of the biggest fights in boxing over the last decade. It lived up to the hype. I mean, Tank did his thing. He was the favorite. He won. And props to him, man. Best lightweight in the division I see. I think even though Devin Haney is the undisputed champ, I just see certain things in Tank. I got to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first I was like, I don't know. But I think after that, even before this, if Ryan Garcia fight, if he is not being biased, about Tank, and you really kind of just break down each 135 pounder. I mean, obviously, like I said, Shakur and Devin can give him trouble, but Tank, like I said, he got it all, man. And I hope Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford was watching this, man. I hope they were, because they getting up there in age. I think they mid-30s, 34, 35. I'm not too sure how old they are. Obviously, I got Bud Crawford in that one. He's one of my favorite boxers, if not my favorite. So hopefully they were paying close attention. But this is it's just gonna be interesting. I would say more so for Ryan Garcia, kind of where he goes from here. I'd say. Does he take another long break, or does he get back to the drawing board? Dang, man, I kind of feel bad for him, man. Dang, all that trash he was talking, man. It would have felt different had they went the distance and Tank got the decision. But getting knocked out is just always gonna be like, you're gonna have memes over the internet. You're gonna have to look at all the comments. But hey, he did his thing, and I think Conor McGregor, even after the fight, went inside the locker room, Ryan Garcia locker room. He was like, "Hey, I want to see it again." He won up on you. He won on you. I want to see it again, but without the rehydration clause. Maybe at 140 or 147 or whatever they, it's obviously probably going to be another couple years or so before they fight again. Who knows? But I like to see, Ryan Garcia and Tank get back in the ring soon and just see how their careers progress from here. But man, that fight was exciting. Like I said, I can't be mad. Like I said, I can't be mad. I love Tank. I love Garcia. Wanted Garcia to win, but I was wrong. Hey, once again, shout out my mom. Shout out Hugo. Y'all predicted it. Let's get into the Lakers, though, man. Obviously, Lakers, they won again today against the Grizzlies, Game 3 at home. Dylan Brooks got ejected. I don't know if y'all seen that play, but I mean, saw a little clip on Instagram. I still haven't reacted to the full game yet because I didn't watch the game because the game was at 7 and the Garcia and Ryan fight was on. Tank and Ryan fight was on. So obviously I wasn't gonna miss that. I was gonna miss the Laker game. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just because that's the one. This is a whole series in basketball. This is just a one-time boxing fight. We may not get to see them fight again. Who knows? Maybe down the line, but I don't know. This Laker game, obviously Ja Morant, he had dropped 45 this game, which is pretty impressive. And then Dylan Brooks obviously ejected. It looked like he kind of grabbed or kind of hit LeBron in the groin. I don't know what's up with players hitting players and other players in the groin these days, but it's happening a whole lot. And he got ejected. I'm not sure how much AD and LeBron dropped. Pretty sure it was a decent number. I can actually probably go look that up right now, to be honest with you. Let's go. Let's see how much they dropped, man. Because I think we could check that box score right now and see what it do. I think AD had like 30 plus. I think LeBron, I'm sure, had about a good amount of number. As you know, Dylan Brooks was talking mad trash. So I wonder if Dylan Brooks would have stayed, they would have made it a close game, because they only lost by 10, and Dylan Brooks left pretty early in the game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, LeBron dropped 25, 9, and 5. And AD had 31, 17 rebounds. That's what I love to see. Impose your real AD. Yeah, I think the Lakers, if they really lock in, have a chance to take them out in 5, but it might take them 6 games. So it's good from there. Honestly, man. I don't want to. This Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight is just still in my mind, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, I try to switch to another topic, but it's just still in my head because I'm like, man, I feel so stupid too. I kept commenting on every post like, Ryan Garcia finna shock the world. He gonna knock out Tank. And I'm seeing all these videos too of like, even somebody he kind of brung like a religious biblical version of why Ryan Garcia was gonna win, but I don't know why I was believing that. That was probably something weird. I don't know. It was kind of an in-depth video of why, Ryan Garcia was gonna win because of the day they're fighting and his birthday and how many wins he got. He was kind of like, it was kind of a weird kind of thing. I should have knew that wasn't biblical off rip, but hey, Aiden Ross lost 10K. He paid Kai Cenat. He put 10K on Ryan Garcia. He lost. Jermaine Charlo, one of the Charlo brothers, lost their money, but I think Garcia said he was going to pay him back if he did lose. Drake put $1 million on Tank Davis, but he won. People talking about it's a Drake curse or something like that. Man, it's just you win some, you lose some. It is what it is, and he ended up winning this fight. So congrats to Devontae Davis. But yeah, we finna wrap it up right there, man. It's just like my brain is just like, man, I'm still trying to process this fight. I just feel so, man. You gotta understand, like when you're a fan of somebody, like I'm a fan of Devontae Davis, but when you're a fan of Garcia, you just want them to win. It's just like, man, dang. Especially in the fashion that he did, losing. And people want to say that Garcia quit on that body shot, and maybe he did. But I think that just the pain of it, like I said, I can see his rib cage. Like I didn't see his rib cage in a Fortuna fight. That tells me right then and there he wasn't at his strongest. Was a little drained. Not saying if he would have had a couple extra, weight on there, it wouldn't have helped or whatever, because he probably did get dropped in sparring. Like Tank Davis said, because he probably hit him in the exact same spot he got hit at. Who knows? These are things that Tank's team know behind the scenes, spying on him in camp and watching his every move and watching his highlights and stuff like that. And just Ryan made too many mistakes, but I do think that kind of affected him a little bit, that rehydration clause. But like I said, I don't want to make no excuses. Like I said, I think if it was even at 140, I think just skill for skill, Gervonta would have had it would have been more competitive, I'd say, but he still would have, if you got the skills, his skill was just on another level. So there you go, man. Gervonta Tank Davis, the face of boxing. That wraps it up, though, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Subscribe to my podcast, the Add-On Podcast. Subscribe to my other channel, Emmanuel R&D. Link to that will be in the description. I'm going to see y'all next video.